start. Okay, so here we are today going to speak about the cool down. Okay, we all hear a lot about the cool down, sometimes the warm up. So you can see Varun sort of running there in the background. So assume that's like a sports situation, okay, where they're doing some moderate runs. And when it's all done, what do you want them to do? You want their heart rate to come down, you want their body to come down, you want their mind also at the same time to be getting back to normal. So cool down is exactly that. It's the opposite of warm up. You cool down, you bring your body temperature and mentally also back to a grounded level. So now Varun's doing a bit of these fast runs. Okay, so let's assume he's at that space. 2 more, Varun. And let's assume this was part of football practice or cricket or hockey. What do you do when this is done? So he's done that. Now you can cool down, Varun. Now you just go easy. Okay. So sort of slow down the speed. And this may be, one round around the ground. Generally, that's what a team would do. Okay, they all go around and then sort of they go easy so that their heart rate comes down. There's no sudden raise and dip in the heart rate. You come down easy and you can maybe even try talking to them to check, so how are you feeling now? All okay?
Yeah.
Cool. So you can now sort of start doing a brisk walk, fast walk. So then you go down exactly like what one does for a warm-up, okay? You start low to high. Here you go high to low. Now a brisk walk which slowly will become slower and slower, okay? So this is just like a version where I'm making it a bit faster, but it could be even longer, where they can walk, and now you can slow down a bit and walk. So now they slow down. So from that whole high heart rate, from that whole sort of charged up sort of situation, now he does easy. So that's how you first get the cool down started, okay? That's the first idea of a cool down, to cool down from the activity itself. Now, once they've sort of walked, once they're a bit sort of calmer, okay, once he comes back, the first thing to do, and maybe sometimes there's less time, a lot of times there's matches, there's not enough time. And if there's one thing that can be done, okay, for an athlete, is to make them lie down. So let's say now Varun's played a badminton match, tennis, football, he's come. As a player, you get him, you say, okay, Varun, now what you'll do, you lie down here with your feet up, okay? And you can maybe take your shoes and socks off. So we get them to take their shoes and socks off. Why? Because there's a lot of heat that's being produced, right? You want the feet to be able to have the legs to have some ventilation. You don't want, and now the shoes are not going to be part of any more training, right? So you get the shoes off, you get the socks off as well, okay? This also gives the player mentally an idea that, okay, now it's time to relax. I'm sort of done, and this is kind of my time to now unwind. So first thing, maybe for a minute, 2 minutes, up to 5 minutes, let them go, put their feet up, okay, nice and relaxed, okay. Now one huge advantage of this, okay, one massive advantage from a class sort of monitoring point of view is that if there's a team, let's assume we have a team here of 11 players, 14 players, or big class, and they're doing this, what is happening right now is quiet. As a team, young kids, they're all quiet. They're recovering. And like I've said during the warm-up, what do we want players to be doing during practice? And as strength and conditioning coach, we want, as a coach, to prepare them to sort of get to a point in a warm-up to play. And then we want them to unwind, get out. So yes, that's a good position. As you can see, his arms are out. His pecs are stretching to an extent. Arms out, easy, relaxed. He himself is being relaxed. And most important, as he or she is relaxing, the others are also all relaxing, quiet. Because in this position, you can't really talk because you can't see the other person. Your face is up, right? So this really makes a good break from that constant talking, constant on, to a point where they can think, okay? So also great for heart rate, from an upright position to the least loaded position, which is lying down. Feet up, so good for some reversal of blood flow, okay? Any sort of pooling that happens in the legs after training, this is great for undoing that, right? So amazing position, easy position, very doable, practical. In sport, whenever you design anything, okay, you also have to look at practicality. It could be the most effective exercise or movement, but if you need some huge apparatus for that, it doesn't make them practical, because I mean in the real world we know you wouldn't even know where you're practicing at a given point in time. Okay, so from that perspective, this becomes something simple. Find a wall, put the feet up, let that person just calm down. Okay, so now it's been almost sort of 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how much. I would say max around 5 minutes. Let them do this. They will have calmed down by now. The whole heart rate is down. The body is sort of, at a better state. So then we let them do which stretches. Should we do dynamic? Should we do ballistic? Should we do static? Okay, obviously you should be thinking, okay, that by now it is definitely static. You should be knowing this. Now before they get up, we can add one more thing here, okay. So Varun, I want you to take 5 deep breaths, okay, eyes closed, breathe in through your nose, let your stomach come up. Yes, let the stomach come up, that's very important. And then full out through your mouth, slowly, okay. So you do what's called abdominal breathing, okay. So in yoga, that is done, you have your clavicular breathing, you have your thoracic, and you have what's called a diaphragmatic or abdominal, okay, where you let go of the stomach, okay. So when they relax, let the stomach come up, down. Again, what does this do? Puts him in touch with his breathing, okay. Also gives him a bit of this connect about what's happening in his body, okay, because he's now focusing intrinsically, okay. So great way to bring everything into a nice sort of, positive manner, calm, so that he now will be able to move on from here into other stretches, okay. Great. Once you've done 5 of these, Varun, you can slowly come up, okay. You can turn to the side, you can stand, yeah, good. Now we'll start with a chest stretch, okay. So a static stretch, hands there, he turns, stretches, good. You can turn even more if you can, yes. So you can turn maximally. If there's a whole team, they can do that, especially those who are involved in upper body dominant sports, okay, tennis, badminton, volleyball, okay. Those guys, you make them do, how long should you do it? 15, 20 seconds, okay. You can change when you're done. So again, he turns, holds. They can, sometimes the free hand can be used to release the muscle fibers here, okay. So as you can see with his free hands, just the closer towards the insertion, he's just trying to find if there's any tight spots. So when the pecs are released, the shoulder sits back better. So this almost becomes like a self massage, okay, by himself or by herself. So they can just do it around here. You can now, okay, this would be normally doing 3 times or so, but just for the sake of brevity, keeping it close and short, we are doing it once. Let's do the lat now. So sideways, get a good lat stretch. Yeah. So in this 2 ways, one, this would be good. You can see the latissimus dorsi here is getting a proper stretch on the side, okay. Slightly his QL, his quadratus lumborum, these muscles also, his obliques are also getting a bit of a stretch. With these might have been used a lot. So you can see here he's getting a good stretch, holds for around 20 seconds, change. Now these stretches, a tip I can give you is, I do this when I work with group classes. Get one person to lead the warm-up and one person, that may be same person, to lead the cool down as well, okay. Makes your life a bit easier. You've got say 15 people. Every day choose a new trainer, okay, and that trainer would be a student. So you choose one. It's very empowering, it's good for leadership skills. So one person sort of dictates, what's to be done, okay. So now we've done 1 and 2. Now next he could or she could do is, we can do the Gomukhasana, okay. So if you can just go and hold. So again, something for internal rotation, okay. This is a modification, because the proper Gomukhasana is done on the ground where you sit, your foot is crossed over, but we could do it this way. If somebody can do it seated, that's also fine. So again, for 20 seconds he's holding, then he'll change. Now like I said, if there's a leader in that group, that this can be a sequence, and the leader can just take them the next day, another leader. So they all also remember. The advantage of having a leader for the group is that the leader remembers today, tomorrow who's got it will remember. So they keep learning. Everybody starts learning what the exercise program is, okay? And there's somebody to demonstrate. You don't have to go there and demonstrate all the time. So that's why these are important things, okay? So now we've done upper body right here. Now one area which we can add, okay, a lot of times which is not worked much, is the anterior muscles of the neck and even the lateral. So what's called the sternocleidomastoid, this big thick muscle here near the jaw. A lot of times our jaw is down throughout the day, right? We are working on a computer, we are playing, it's down. So what you do is get a stretch here also. So first what you do is look up, okay, get a stretch. You can hold for around maybe 10 to 15 seconds. Do you feel a stretch in the front, Varun? Good. So he holds. Okay, now you change. Now what you do is you go up and you turn to the side. So you'll get it more on the side. And then just a turn. More than a twist, Varun, it is more up. And instead of a twist, it's up and side. Lateral. Yeah, that's it. Now you'll feel it more on the right side. Without moving the shoulders much. Yes, that's it. Shoulders stay here, just the neck. So another great stretch, very relaxing, because this is one area which is normally, a lot tight in people. Okay, so you can change other side. Okay, next he can do is a stretch for the trapezius. So your hands can go back. Okay, one hand behind. All right, just push it in a bit more. Okay, turn your face this side, look down, use the other hand to hold behind the head and stretch. Okay, so here we're now working on the trapezius, which is most likely tight after playing, right? So a static stretch where the shoulder goes here. So the idea is to go in this direction. You're pulling apart. Okay, so it holds for around 15 seconds. And you change on the side, look down there. Now when this is done, now one more thing they can do, depending on the team, here you have to keep an eye out. If it's small children, maybe don't let them do. Of course, if it's boys and girls, tip I forgot to mention, if there's a whole academy that you're working with, the girls should be doing a warm-up and cool down separately. Boys should be doing it separately. Okay, and I'll explain that, and then I'll explain why I said this and how this relates to the next move. It's because if, let's assume you have a team and there are girls and guys. Now you don't want to mix them up because we have different ages, right? We have different people working there. You don't want the girls to feel uncomfortable at any point when they're doing a move, when they're bending down or when they're stretching and then there's a boy next to them, okay? You don't want that opportunity to arise, okay? That sort of situation to arise. Keep them separate. If there's nets, they stretch that side. There's a leader for the girls that day. There's a leader for the boys that day, okay? And they stretch separately. Simple, okay? So they feel secure. They are quite okay with their own bodies there. The boys are okay with their own bodies there, okay? Don't keep them together. Now from that, coming to the next one, okay, of what to do. Now here, if let's say it's a boys team, again girls team, you have to though check if people are comfortable. Sometimes people don't like. But something after training which feels good is, let's say now Varun's here, and let's say we're part of a team sport now where everybody's playing. So two people can do this, okay? You can just work on a bit of this, okay, for maybe 30 seconds. Does this feel good? Yeah. Relaxing? Yeah. Now who doesn't like, some massaging here, especially on the traps? Now if you are, if you are a coach to a person who's just by himself training and he sort of, has a personal physio traveling, okay, or who has somebody specifically for them to release, that's a different case. That's also a very, very rare case, okay. Majority athletes won't have a physio or something. So just this. Now how long did that take? Around 30 seconds. He does that, then I'll turn, he will do it, okay. So that's how it works, okay. Just that sort of releasing. Now this again becomes, all these things are sort of very easy to do, but at the same time very relaxing. But you just have to be conscious in this one because like I said earlier, if it's boys and girls, you don't want a guy to be doing this, okay? And sometimes within boys and within girls, they would not be too conscious somebody touching because here we are crossing boundaries of touching, okay? So far the rest is all, they talk, they have fun. The moment you touch, okay, things change, okay? So that touch part you have to be a bit cautious. People, if they are confident, fine, and it should not get into a joke when somebody is touching and then they pinch somewhere. So this is where you need to know how confident you are and how much of a discipline is there, how disciplined you are as well to sort of, lead such a class, okay? But this can be really good if it's done where it really relaxes, the person feels good. Great. Next now, standing stretches, okay? We move to seated ones because now you want the person to sort of relax more and more. Started with lying down, stand up, some basic moves. Now you want them to go down, sit, finally lie down. So the whole sort of regression, if we may call it, okay, in this case, from hard to easy, easy, easy. So now you can sit down, Varun. You can do the 3-point stretch, the pigeon stretch, the quads, and then the glutes. So you can just relax into this again, okay? Just go there, nice and easy. So the stretches in this have to be static stretches, one, and you use the ground. Use stretches where their body gets into position because of an external force, like maybe a ground, a wall, okay? Now I should be not doing stretches with him, which are where, I kind of make him probably do swings, dynamic swings, because you want him to relax. You want the system to relax. So these are ones where you can see he's just locking himself into those positions. Okay. So again, when you work with a big group, get one person to do this, the others all follow. It's like a mirror effect. The person can be in front, they do a movement, everybody follows. Saves time for you. Okay. And cool down is that one thing where everybody does the same exercise, unlike in the gym where people have their own programs. So this is a part where, when the cool down is happening, make sure that it's happening in a very efficient, because warm-ups and cool downs can really tire you as a strength coach. Okay, it can really be very taxing when everybody's talking and you're screaming like, hey, I've told you this, hey, come on, hey, suna nahi kya wahan pe, kya kar rahe ho tum, chalo karo wahan pe. So it should not go to that point where you're screaming at your team. Okay, there should be an organized manner where everything just flows. So as you can see, it's just leaning and stretching and sort of going through all these moves in a very easy manner. Okay, and that's the whole idea. Now we want the athlete to relax into it. Okay, at this moment, you don't want them to be feeling that, oh, coach is there, and coach is angry at me or coach is checking. No, you want them to be feeling relaxed. Okay, now this is where slightly they will start again talking. Okay, as sort of it flows, because it's static, so they might start talking to the other person. Done. Let's do the Dhanurasan next. Okay. Now one can Dhanurasan, or you can wait maybe before the Dhanurasan, lie on your back. We'll do the Dhanurasan a bit later. Let the spine go through a few more movements. So you can do a single knee chest pull. Yeah, I'd say we'll wait for the Dhanurasana, a bit of flexion, then we go into extension. So around 20 seconds, then you change. Again, advantage here, as he lies down, talking sort of goes down, okay, amongst the team or amongst the group. Because again, people can't see each other, eyes are up, right? So their awareness is now lesser of where the other people are. Now after this, you can do, you've done single, now you can do double, okay. Now if you're working with general population, this might be a stretch you don't want to add because depends, somebody who's older, who's not an athlete would not be able to get into this position comfortably because of sort of greater girth in the abdominals. So there you can just stick with the single, okay. Now what you do is single knee twist, okay. So one leg here, one cross, Nice and easy. Yep. Now in this, like we've shown in the partner assisted stretches, while they are here, okay, you can get the other arm on your knee gently and just make sure that your knee is going down. Your back need not be stretching in this. Your back, you don't want to push, okay. You want to make sure that it's a glute stretch. It is not a back stretch, okay. So again, they hold for 20 seconds. 20 seconds later, they change, okay. So we started with a single move to chest pull, then it's double. Now it's single again, and then what will happen next? By now you should have guessed, it will be double, okay. So now you'll do a double leg twist. Yeah, in this, in an ideal position, you want the hip to be 90 degrees, knees to be 90 as well. Yeah, and just ease off. Good. If you want slightly more stretch, you can place the hand on your knee. Yeah, a gentle pull as long as it's in the hip, as long as it's in the hip. That's the key. Okay, you don't want the stretch to be in the lower back. You don't want to hyperextend. Okay. So then, now these stretches, yesterday we did some recording in which we explained about the uh, passive stretches in flexibility, right? So in passive stretches or the partner assisted stretches, we have done, sort of different movements where a partner helps in this. So if you're a physio working or if you're a strength coach working one-on-one, then you can definitely help out there and make them do the stretches. Now here, in the partner assisted one, we also did a hamstring stretch, right, where they were lying down and doing. Now that can be done on the ground as well. So we'll make Varun do that. He can do this now, or he could do it even earlier when he was doing the seated ones. So Varun, if you could just maybe sit first and just do a hamstring one. Now the variations here are one straight hamstring. So from here, he can just go for the toes. Okay. Yeah, just hold there comfortably. Okay. Now next variation can be here where he just goes wide. Okay. So comfortably wide. Then he goes same leg, same hand. So again, this becomes a very easy, good stretch. But what's happening? We are also getting some amount of stretch on the lateral side. And this can be modified where if you want to, you can, Varun, do the same stretch. One variation is yes, go over. Yes, so he can take his arm over so that the latissimus dorsi gets a bit more of a stretch as the arm goes up and he has to sort of bend to the side. So it's lateral flexion and it's also, your lat's also getting a stretch. Other side. Yeah, so first you can just go straight. Then as you can see, this is harder because the sides have to also come in. Now he goes opposite hand, okay. So you've earlier done this, yeah. So you go now just from here. So same side was done, now opposite. So again, he'll hold for a while, okay. Once he holds for 20 seconds. So it's a nice stretch now which has worked the hamstrings, which has also worked the adductors to an extent. Now post matches, okay, or post playing, uh, generally the glutes tend to get tight. So would we do an adductor stretch such as the uh, butterfly? I'm not too keen on doing that. Okay, I would rather make him do something for the glutes like the pigeon stretch a bit more. Fine. So this done, and let's say now he's lied down and he's done. He is lying down and done all the stretches which were down. Now what you do from lying down, we'll move on to Dhanurasana. Okay. So we've done all the flexion of the spine. Now let's get into extension. You hold. Now in warm-ups, of course, sometimes people end up doing the lunge, the twisting. Now when you're cooling down, you want to move from the rotational plane to as much as sagittal, just simple basic exercises. So you want that person to finish off, we are actually kind of letting the person now get away with everything that was done and finish. So Dhanurasana, that maybe I would say Bhujangasana is one choice, but not necessary. So Dhanurasana, once the arms are stretched, everything is stretched. Bhujangasana, what does happen is the triceps are more in contraction. Okay, they are not being stretched. The spine is in extension, the front area is being in stretch, but the triceps are still under load and contracting. Whereas in a Dhanurasana, you're stretching the biceps, you're stretching the abdominals, quadriceps, your hip flexors, almost like including your tibialis anterior as well, because the ankles are behind. So once this is done, the time comes now to relax. So Varun, you can lie on your back. So this is where the cool down ends, okay? Just lie, relax. So that's where we do now what's called the Shavasana, okay? So Shavasana is what he lies down. So first, what you can do is ask them to breathe again, okay? Easy breathing, deep. Again, this is where the class calms down, okay? And that's why it's important to finish off with these things, so that when the class calms down, they all leave, and they go out of the place in a calm manner. So breathing. Now you can remind them what you told them in your warm-up. What did you tell them in your warm-up? When their eyes were closed and they started with the meditation. 3 things that they are going to plan to do today, right, for practice. Now you remind them. So if Varun's a player and I tell him now that, no, okay, so Varun, did you practice those 3 things? Remind yourself. Those 3 things that you wanted to do today, which could have been whatever, smash. Did you get to do those when you played matches today? Did you try exactly what you decided? Did you improve? And what is your assessment today of your play? Did you get to do exactly what you wanted? Do you think you would give yourself good marks? Or do you think you could have done better? So this is where assessment comes in. So it's all incorporated into the warm-up and cool-down. Warm-up, you've done eye exercises, breathing, breath holding, balance. So things have to be incorporated. We have a short time with the players. You can't say that you go home and then you visualize and you sit and you expect that the player will do that. Good luck to you, okay? So it doesn't happen with the youngsters, right? They've got, their minds are all over the place. So you have to incorporate it here. That's the time, that's the time for reflection, okay? In the beginning, there was time for the grounding, for centering, and now it's time for reflection. So it all becomes part of it, okay? You don't have to tell them go home and write down. If they do, great, but just make it so that every day there's a certain sort of standard. So now once he's done that, you ask them now, okay, take a deep breath, Varun, full, breathe out all your stresses, okay? Throw everything out, whatever stresses you have. Breathe out. Perfect. And now you slowly come out of it. You can turn around, okay? Yeah, when they come out, make it a habit for them to gently turn around to the side and then come up. They don't make that habit of rocking where they just lift their legs and come up. So nice and easy, done. So there the person's all now sort of, calm. Are you feeling better than when you started?
Yes.
Okay, so imagine how good a player will feel who's into it full on, and when they sort of done training, they okay, that now I'm calm. So that's what you want. You want a calm kid when the whole training is done. You want a kid who's sort of excited to play when they are starting. Okay, so hope this helps you to design a good program for cool down. Thank you.